Eva and I were 4 days into the Ridge-to-Coast Trail, 55 miles of switchbacks behind us, and steady drizzle ahead. The guidebook mentioned a cheap motel near mile marker 42, last warm bed before the wetlands. Off-season rates sounded like a miracle. The Sunset Pines looked dead from the highway. Neon vacancy flickering even at noon. Cedar shingles curling like burnt toast. No other cars in the lot. Manager met us in the office. A tall guy named Ray, with the sleepy kindness you get in towns that survive on seasonal hikers. He handed over room 6 keys, apologized that cell service was spotty since the tower fire last spring, and comped us 2 canned coffees from the lobby fridge. Day 1 felt normal. We showered, spread damp gear over the heater, dozed. Evening. Eva noticed the room TV powered on by itself. Static hiss at low volume. Weird, but old remotes ghost fire all the time. Night 2. The harassment started talking. Our doorside window faced the empty lot. Sometime before dawn, a ringtone blasted from outside. My own custom tone, the bike bell chirp I use at home. My phone sat on Do Not Disturb, screen dark. I peeked through curtain slits. Just Ray's truck parked under the sodium lamp. Eva convinced me we'd imagined it. Breakfast. Ray asked if we'd slept well. Grin too wide. He told a story about coyotes sounding like cell phones. I laughed along, but my stomach nodded. We planned another rest night before tackling the wetlands. Afternoon, we hiked a local loop to shake cabin fever. Returning, we found our room scrubbed, though we'd left the Do Not Disturb sign. Gear rearranged with unsettling precision. Water filter tube curled into a heart. My multi-tool balanced blade open on the dresser. Front desk bell produced only silence. A phone behind the counter rang unanswered. We retreated to decide next move. Eva said, "Give it one more evening. Leave at first light." I agreed, half just to keep her calm. Twilight turned stormy. TV clicked on again, this time surveillance footage of room 6 from a ceiling angle. Live. Eva grabbed the remote. Buttons did nothing. Camera showed us staring up at ourselves. My hands went ice cold. She yanked the power cord. Image froze. We packed in frantic silence. Outside, motel lamps blinked dead. A power cut. Hallway emergency sconces glowed dim red. Near the office, a flat screen flickered static. Words crawled across in green text. No refunds for runaways. Ray stepped from shadows, umbrella resting across his shoulders like a rifle. "Now why'd you kids unplug the television?" Voice warm as before, but something new simmered in it. Ownership, maybe. I tightened pack straps. We're leaving. Storm watches up. Roads flood quick. Safer here with me. Eva hissed, "Creep," under her breath. He smiled wider. We bolted for the lot. My ignition remote dead. Ray's footfalls scraped behind us. I swung my trekking pole low, caught his shin. He staggered. Eva already had the hatch open. We dove inside, cranked manual locks. Ray limped to driver window, pressed forehead to glass, eyes curious, not angry, like a scientist observing a jarred insect. I spun the key. Engine sputtered once, then coughed alive. Guess the power cut hadn't touched fuel pumps. As we fishtailed onto the highway, Ray raised 2 fingers in a lazy farewell salute. Service returned 5 miles down the road. Voicemails landed like hail. First, a distorted clip of us sleeping. Next, a recording of my mom asking if I was safe. Call timestamp earlier that evening. Last, a single sentence whispered, "Room 6 will always be ready." Sheriff's deputy took our statement at the diner. He sighed, said Ray inherited the place. Nobody could prove a crime beyond trespass, and anyway, he'd left on a medical sabbatical last week. Eva asked how that squared with our encounter 30 minutes ago. The deputy just rubbed his temples. We finished the trail 2 days later, looking over our shoulders. Every roadside motel vacancy sign still gives me Ray's grin. I camp now, rain or shine. I parked at the trailhead just before midnight, slept an hour in the front seat, then started up to catch sunrise from the ridge. Nobody else had signed the log after yesterday afternoon, so I figured I'd have the path to myself. The first mile was the usual head-down grind through cedar. Temperature sat just above freezing. My breath came out white and steady. About 30 minutes in, my pool of headlamp light brushed something bright, an empty foil energy gel packet hanging from a branch. Fresh rip, maybe hours old. I muttered a quick, littering jerk and kept moving. Switchback 3. Crunch behind me, single footfall, then silence. I stopped. Forest stopped with me. Windless. My headlamp painted the uphill slope, then downslope. Nothing. I told myself it was a branch settling. Switchback 5. Same crunch, closer. I turned fast. This time a faint red LED winked from somewhere below and clicked off. I pictured those cheap clip-on dog lights. Hiker, poacher. Whoever it was, they'd killed their beam the second I faced them. Not normal night hiker etiquette. I increased pace, counting breaths to keep panic from blooming. 30 breaths later, another red blink. Now level with me, though the trail hairpins. Whoever it was had cut the corner. My gut finally named it. I wasn't alone. I was being herded. The next junction offered a skinny game trail dropping toward the creek. I hadn't scouted it, but getting off the main path felt right. I killed my lamp, crouched, and let moonlight guide me downhill through soggy duff. The dark felt like stuffing in my ears. Every twig under my boots sounded like a starter pistol. Red light reappeared upslope, sweeping side to side, searching. I belly crawled behind a fallen log. My mind did dumb arithmetic. 5 miles back to the car, 3 to the ridge. 0 bars of cell service either way. The unknown felt less risky than heading straight toward that light again, so I committed to the creek. I stayed low another 10 minutes before switching my own lamp to dim red. Safer for footing, without telegraphing my position. That's when I nearly face-planted. Somebody had strung twine ankle-high between 2 saplings. A silent trip line. Fresh. My chest went cold. Whoever was stalking me wasn't improvising. They'd prepared. The creek finally came into earshot. I broke into a trot, praying I wouldn't roll an ankle. Water meant the fire road that paralleled it. My odds to meet a ranger. I burst through brush onto gravel, and a white Tacoma sat idling, backup lights glowing. For half a second, relief warmed me. Help, maybe. Then I saw the license plates taped over. The red LED dangled from the rearview mirror. No driver in sight. Adrenaline turned my legs liquid but fast. I sprinted downstream, following the road's crown. Headlights snapped on behind me. Tires spun. I jumped the ditch and crashed into understory. The truck engine gunned past, then braked hard. Doors slammed. 2. Just 1. Couldn't tell. From cover, I spotted a culvert, a concrete pipe wide enough to crawl through where the creek ducked under the road. I slid in, chest deep in icy runoff. The water stole my breath, but masked my sounds. The tack light of a flashlight slashed over the creek bed, paused on footprints, kept drifting. Long minutes passed. Engine turned over again, driving off up road. I waded the pipe's length and emerged on the far side, soaked to hips, but alive. Dawn's first gray hint touched the clouds. A half-mile farther, the fire watch cabin came into view. An older ranger sipping instant coffee on the porch took one look at my shake-soaked self and waved me inside without questions. When county deputies arrived, the Tacoma was missing. We rewalked the trail. The trip line and packets were gone. Only my footprints left. Whoever planned the night had cleaned their set like a stagehand. The deputies shrugged, filed a report, and used a phrase I now hate. Wrong place at the wrong time. I drive the extra hour to a busier trail now. Solo sunrises aren't worth wondering whose red light is blinking in the timber. Sheets of rain whip sideways as our headlamps pick through ankle-deep runoff. Liam leads. Josie limps behind me, and I'm in the middle pretending my knee isn't grinding glass. The quarry mouth yawns black ahead. The same pit where Gabe drowned 3 summers ago. A county curfew siren moans miles away, warning folks to stay home. We broke it on purpose. Liam swore we needed closure, that scattering Gabe's old compass in the water at the exact anniversary would help. I knew better. Closure wasn't his goal. Senior trip dare, night swim in the flooded quarry. 4 of us cannonballed from the rusted loader arm, laughing at the echoes. Gabe surfaced twice, joking about monster fish, then slipped under a 3rd time and never came up. Dive team found him at dawn, pinned beneath sheet metal. Accident, they said. Liam never forgave me for not diving sooner. He said I froze. He's right. Shock locked my muscles until too late. We reached the concrete pad where the old pulley tower collapsed. Lightning strobes, revealing the water 30 feet below, churning like black paint. Josie mutters that her ankle's shot. Twisted it on the descent. Liam ignores her, busy unpacking a coil of rope far sturdier than our rescue line. Why bring climbing rope to a memorial? Wind dips. I hear metallic clank behind us. Someone else on site? Liam doesn't react. Maybe he expects whoever it is. I step close. We scatter the compass and go. Storm's getting worse. Liam's smile looks rehearsed. You'll go when Gabe's debt is paid. My gut ices. He threads rope through an anchor ring, knots practiced. Lightning pops. Briefly silhouettes a 5th figure atop the opposite rim, holding something long, maybe a crowbar. The storm swallows detail. Josie wheezes in pain. I crouch. Promise we'll leave soon, but she reads my eyes and knows that's a lie. At Gabe's memorial, Liam cornered me, half drunk. Said he dreamed the quarry every night, and in the dream, I'm the one who never resurfaces while he watches helpless. He called it fair. Rope loops tighten around my wrist before I register movement. Liam yanks. Pain explodes. Josie screams. I swing my free trekking pole, clip his shoulder. He staggers but holds line. The lookout across the pit whistles twice. Signal. Sirens again. Closer. Maybe sheriff trucks skirting washed-out roads. Hope flares but dims. Response times out here stretch forever during storms. I grab the compass from Liam's pack and hurl it into the quarry. It flashes silver, then swallows in blackness. Debt settled, I shout over thunder. For a second, his face cracks. Grief punching through anger. That lapse lets me untwist the rope, shove him backward. He skids, but catches chunked concrete. The distant figure whistles once more, then slips, vanishing over the edge. A faint splash follows, impossible to locate in roaring wind. Liam's eyes go wired wide. He sprints opposite direction, calling a name I can't hear. He, not me, tries to save the falling accomplice, arms windmilling at the rim. I strip rope from Josie, half carry her toward the switchback trail. My knee screams at every step. Behind, a male scream rips short, then cuts. Could be Liam. Could be someone else. I keep moving. 20 minutes later, flashing blue lights smear through rain below us. Deputies finally crawling up the service road. We wave lamps. They shout back. Voices shredded by wind. Josie collapses. Deputies radio for EMS. When I glance toward the quarry, lightning frames the pit mouth. No figures, no rope, no movement. The storm buries whatever happened. Hospital hallway, early morning. Deputy takes my statement while nurses x-ray Josie. He nods. Says teams are still searching the quarry, weather permitting. No bodies found yet. Maybe your friend hiked out a different way, he offers. I don't answer. He asks if I want someone called. I shake my head. I walk to the window. Sunrise tries to burn through cloud. Rain keeps drumming. Somewhere a rescue siren recedes. Maybe they found Liam. Maybe the quarry took another debt. I press my forehead to glass. Wait for closure that feels just as far away as ever.